You genuinely need to wake up and stop consuming content, and I'm gonna tell you why in a few minutes. First things first, I imagine that you have a job or that you are still going to school, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's better to have a job or study than doing nothing. But don't get me wrong, we are all looking for that special gift from life. Non-negotiable, even when tired, even when unmotivated, even when progress feels slow. Your job pays your bills, your asset builds your exit. If you skip building because you're tired from work, you are choosing comfort over freedom. That's fine, but be honest about it. Escaping your job is not about hating your job, it's about outgrowing it, and growth requires structure. Track your weekly output. How many videos did you publish? How many cold emails did you send? How many offers did you pitch? How many hours of deep practice did you complete? Measure outputs, not feelings. You won't feel ready. You won't feel confident. You will feel uncertain for a long time. That's normal. You are building something from zero, and zero always feels small before it compounds. The mistake is expecting emotional rewards before financial ones. Confidence comes after proof. Proof comes after repetition. Repetition comes after discipline. You don't escape your job by dreaming harder. You escape it by building something strong enough to replace it. And that strength only comes from consistent execution. Now there's one final piece, because even with execution and discipline, most people still sabotage themselves before the breakthrough. Here's the final piece. You must survive the psychological dip. Every serious attempt to escape your job follows the same emotional cycle. Phase 1, excitement. You start something new, you're motivated, you imagine the future, you feel powerful. Phase 2, doubt. Results are slow, growth is minimal, you question your path. Phase 3, frustration. You're working hard, but nothing seems to change. You compare yourself to others, you feel behind. This is where most people quit, not because it's impossible, because it's uncomfortable. You expect progress to be linear. It isn't. For a long time it looks flat, then suddenly it spikes, but you only reach the spike if you survive the flat line. The flat line is where character is built. This is where you must detach from short-term validation. If you post videos and get 12 views, keep posting. If you send offers and get rejected, keep sending. If you practice and feel average, keep practicing. You are not building for today. You are building for compounding. Most people overestimate what they can do in 3 months and underestimate what they can do in 3 years. 3 years of focused effort can completely change your life, but you must think in years, not weeks. Another thing that keeps people trapped is fear of risk. You don't quit your job immediately. You build until your income outside of work is consistent enough to replace it. Calculate your monthly expenses. Build until your side income matches at least 70 to 100% of that number consistently for several months. Then you transition, not emotionally, strategically. Escaping your job is not rebellion, it's leverage. And leverage comes from value. If you can create value that people are willing to pay for repeatedly, your job becomes optional. If you cannot, your job remains necessary. That's not negative. That's reality. So here's what you actually need to do. Choose one path. Commit for years, build an asset daily, track output, survive the psychological dip, transition strategically, no secret hack, no magic course, no overnight moment, just structure, patience, and relentless repetition. You don't escape your job by wishing for freedom. You earn it by becoming valuable enough that the market funds your exit. And once you understand that, everything becomes simpler, not easier, but clearer. And clarity is what turns ambition into action. That moment where we are going to succeed. This moment will never exist because it doesn't happen suddenly after you have been meditating for half an hour or after you launched your first business. It's a process that you should create and apply to your life until you succeed. The moment you do, it will feel good, but not amazing, because you had to put so much effort into it in order to succeed. Now let's talk about the real problem. You want to escape your job, but you spend most of your free time watching other people escape theirs. You watch business videos. You watch how I made $10,000 online. You watch productivity hacks. You watch motivation, and it feels productive. It feels like you're moving, but you're not. Consumption creates the illusion of progress. Execution creates actual progress. Your brain doesn't always know the difference between learning and doing. When you watch a video about building an online business, you get a small dopamine hit. It feels like you took action. You didn't. You gathered information. Information without application is entertainment, and most people are entertained by their own ambition. If you want to escape your job, you don't need more inspiration. You need fewer inputs and more outputs. That means less scrolling, less researching, less comparing, more building, more practicing, more producing. The first practical thing you should do is choose one path, not three, not five. One, freelancing, content creation, e-commerce, coding, a high-income skill. Pick one that makes sense for your personality and your resources. Then commit, not for 2 weeks, not for 1 month, for at least a year. You are not stuck at your job because you lack opportunity. You are stuck because your effort is diluted. If you focus all your available energy outside of work on building one asset, your situation starts shifting, but only if you stop consuming and start executing. And this is where it becomes uncomfortable, because execution is boring. Execution doesn't give instant validation. Execution doesn't guarantee results in 30 days. But execution is the only bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Now that you've chosen one path, here's what actually separates the people who escape their job from those who stay stuck for years. They build assets, not income. Most employees think in terms of hours. If I work more, I earn more. That logic keeps you trapped. If you want to escape your job, you need to start building something that works even when you don't. An asset could be a YouTube channel, a personal brand, a skill that companies pay high retainers for, a product, a service system. Notice something important. All of these require upfront effort with delayed reward. This is where most people quit. You will work for months with almost no visible results, no money, no recognition, no applause. This phase filters 90% of people out. They assume it's not working. It is working. It's just invisible. If you're working a 9 to 5, you realistically have 3 to 5 hours per day you can control. That's enough. 2 focused hours daily for 1 year equals over 700 hours. 700 hours in one skill is dangerous, but only if it's focused. That means no multitasking, no switching business models every 3 months, no starting over because you saw a new trend. Depth beats novelty. You don't need 10 revenue streams. You need one that works. And here's the part nobody talks about. You must treat your project like a second job before it becomes your first. Set a fixed schedule. For example, 6 to 8 p.m. every weekday equals build time.